Okay.
Here we are.
Here we are. Round two. Wait for this intro. You'll like this one. The dangerously divine and enchanting Renee Young.
Enchanting.
Is that a good one?
Enchanting.
Enchanting.
No, enchanting. Sometimes I think I do a really good British accent until I talk to them British and they're like, shut up.
Yeah, you don't.
I don't. No, but
I can confirm you don't.
half-assing it. But if I was like, I'd be like, you want to go down and grab a pint?
Even worse.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yeah, really bad.
Damn.
Anyways, lovely to see you. I feel like this is the big rematch in a way.
It is.
It's the daunting one for me because it's the difficult second album.
This is your sophomore album, yes.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. Can we top the first one?
I actually thought that because I feel like there's been a bit of build-up to come back here for you and I to do this. And being in your position and being an interviewer, sometimes it's easy to just do the one and done. You're like, great, I got some little gems.
Yeah.
The end.
I can't leave this alone.
Right?
This is good. This is part two of what I hope to be a 10-part series.
I hope so too.
I feel and I feel in terms of scale and social relevance, it's kind of Frost Nixon. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, it's like a presidential election that me and you this is our duty.
Not comparing you to an aging man, obviously,
I'm
but
actually a lot more like an aging man than you would ever dare to know. A lot of similarities.
Well, worries me to hear.
My voice is getting raspier as, I don't know what it is, but the last 2 months, I sound like I'm a chain smoker.
I was going to say you sound a little bit raspier than when we last met.
I know. I'm like Janis Joplin on Moonshine.
Well, that's cool.
It sounds cooler than I actually sound.
Okay, so for the foolish few people who haven't seen or heard the interview we did last time, I'm going to do a bit of a quick recap.
Oh, yes.
Okay, I'm going to run through this.
Okay.
You have, and I quote, adorable webbed feet.
I do.
You love comedy and have a history of comedy performing.
True.
You're an excellent chalk drawer and enjoy doodling movie posters.
Love it.
Coolest girl I've ever met. Sushi and a glass of wine at home is your preferred evening's entertainment. Boom. You want to be a big-time WWE commentator on Raw and pay-per-views, which all the fans on social media are very much getting behind, by the way.
Yeah, what is that? Thank you.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
A lot of movements happening these days.
Vince McMahon forced his beef jerky on you at 3 in the morning. Make of that what you will. You'd like to interview Prince, no longer the artist formerly known as.
No.
And you're dating Dean Ambrose.
Those are all factual.
Okay, so we've done the recap.
Yeah.
So for people who haven't seen the first interview, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's all. That puts me in a nutshell. That's me. Does that put me in a nutshell? That's me in a nutshell. I think I've screwed that phrase up. You guys know what I mean.
I'd hate to put you in a nutshell.
I'd have to mime my way out.
Actually, I'd
I'm
quite
a
like to do
terrible
it then, just to see you do that. So
it's shrinking. Sorry.
Maybe stop the nutshell stuff.
No accents, no miming. Keep it real. No. Keep it real.
So the last thing I mentioned was Dean.
Yes.
We're not going to talk about him in this interview.
Great.
Because you like to keep your private life private.
Old news.
It is old news.
Old news.
Boring.
Old hat.
Very old hat.
What a bore.
But the one thing I'm going to ask.
Okay.
Just about Dean.
Okay.
On a professional level.
Sure.
Did you get to watch the ladder match at WrestleMania? And if so, what goes through your mind when somebody you love takes that appalling bump on the ladder on the back of his head? Does that shake you up?
That was horrible. Yeah, of course. But not even just pertaining to Dean, John. With anyone, we all travel together. We all know each other very well. So anytime you see someone, they get injured, it's a stressful situation. Of course, when it's him, there's a little more on the line for me for that. But because I was hosting the WrestleMania pre-show.
Yeah.
And I was way up in the rafters, super far away, also wearing high heels, which I don't much care for. But I had a little bit of time in between knowing when I had to be back up there for a hit during WrestleMania, so I had to boot, scoot, and boogie my way down to go try and find it. But it's in the belly of Levi's Stadium, and trying to hunt somebody down through there.
It's a pretty big venue, isn't it?
It's huge.
Yeah.
I walked around about 18 times before I was like, oh, there's the doctor's room. I was going to call it the office. It's not a doctor's office. But there was relief. He's a very tough guy, so I don't put too much past him, but somebody's got to check up. You can be tough, but sometimes someone's got to go, you okay?
Yeah.
And he was fine, then I left.
And how was WrestleMania for you?
Awesome.
Yeah.
It was such a busy week. There was so much stuff going on. From doing WrestleMania today, Byron and I hosted SmackDown. We had Be a Stars and Special Olympics. There were so many things that I needed my brain for.
Yeah.
Which it's a small window. I've only got a small little window. So by the time I knew in my head, I'm like, okay, we get into Santa Clara on Wednesday. I don't really need my brain till Thursday through Sunday about 5 o'clock. And then I can get stupid again.
Yeah.
It was a relief to be stupid again.
Oh,
just
good.
shut it down. But it was a really cool week. It was so fun to be there, seeing more people like pile in, to just see that many people. And it's really, like, you were there, right?
Yeah, we were there.
To see certain matches in daylight is a trip. It's so weird.
Really
you don't
different
realize,
feeling, wasn't it, for the entire show?
It was really crazy. I mean, it was cool that it started to switch during Bray Wyatt and Undertaker, and then for the main event it was just so cool, though. I loved that whole week. It was so fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask you about something that I forgot to ask you about last time.
Oh.
It's nothing major. On your Instagram,
Yes.
there's a picture of you as a little girl.
Yes.
You are you are holding a white bear. You're sat next to a devil child in fancy dress,
Yeah.
I assume, not an actual devil
I
child.
know the picture.
And there's a big poster in the background,
Yep.
and I only noticed it because it says London's Royal Albert Hall on the bottom of it.
Yes.
What's that poster for?
So that poster is of Anne Murray. She's a Canadian songstress, legendary. My dad traveled with her. He worked with her on the road for like 14 years. So I grew up on Anne Murray's music. So we had all sorts of, not all sorts of Anne Murray memorabilia, but certain things like that. I think there's a picture of me on Instagram with Anne Murray. But I used to like go to her house and stuff and just hang out, and like she had like weird secret passageways and stuff through her house, which was really cool.
Really?
Yeah.
It's got to be fun as a kid.
I know. I think that's just a thing that rich people have, just in case. It's like I don't know if it's just for fun or if it's like if things happen, if shit goes down, I can get out of here. I cursed on this. Is that okay? They're not listening, so I think that's okay.
That's fine. The PR's never listening.
Rolling.
Keep rolling. So let's talk about you as a youngster, mini Renee. From a young age, did you always sort of crave the spotlight? Were you always sort of a bit of a performer for your family?
Yeah, I think that I was, which is weird because I actually don't consider myself a person that craves the spotlight.
Okay.
I'm one of those person that walks in the room and I want to be loud like an ice machine going off.
Like an annoying ice machine in the background, yeah.
I think that I kind of want it until everyone turns around and I'm like, just kidding, I don't really have anything important to say. I'm just here to like stir the pot a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I definitely did, but it was always in a little bit of like a backwards kind of way. I was definitely class clown, which got me in a lot of trouble. Bursting into random songs. That was your cue to do random song.
Classic.
I mean, there were definitely times that I wanted to be the center of attention, and I took that on, but I actually didn't get into performing until much later. I don't think I really correlated them, even though I grew up in music and entertainment and being around that so much, but I don't think I ever really put myself in that position until I was done high school. Like I didn't do drama. It wasn't something I ever thought about. I played sports all the time. Playing sports was the only thing I cared about as a kid, and then once I became an adult young woman, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I want to go try doing this for a little bit.
Okay.
But I gave myself like a time window.
So I was going to ask you about school. You say you were the class clown. Were you a good pupil? Were you very disruptive?
I was disruptive in like a light humored kind of way.
Okay.
I wasn't mean or like looking to like, I wasn't a brat, but I just thought it was hilarious. Like I would just be in class and start I had one girlfriend, her name is Dina. She's ridiculous.
Okay.
I had to like MC her wedding, which was a nightmare. But her and I, we had to take French all the way through school. I don't really speak French.
Can you speak any French?
I have literally one glass of wine and I'm fluent in French.
Give us a bit of French.
I mean,
we can have a French conversation.
Can you speak French?
Bits and bobs.
Okay. Je m'appelle Renee Young. Et maintenant, je suis dans une interview avec mon génial. No, that's not a word. I want to say premiere, but that's not the word. That's first. Let's scrap that. See, if I had a cocktail, I'd be good.
Cocktail.
Somebody,
the ice machine's
anybody.
going on, so
that's
there
a
must
cool
be
room
cocktails
back
on the
there.
way.
Does that look cool in the shot? Does it look as cool in there?
Looks very cool, yeah.
Perfect.
Very cool. And okay, so that's you at school.
Yeah, I mean,
French.
it wasn't too bad, but I wanted to just have a good time.
Yeah.
I liked being entertaining. I was terrible at math. I didn't really go to school that much, to be honest. I skipped class a lot.
Oh, did
I
you?
don't encourage this in any capacity.
No.
But I lived very close to my school. In any instance, I was like, oh, it's kind of raining. I should probably not go, right? I always felt like it was a little bit more in my wheelhouse to stay home and watch shows or movies of things that I wanted to do or kind of emulate in my career, once I realized that this was the path that I wanted to go down. And
so you kind of went down a comedy path. Comedy is a big thing for you. Was there anyone in your family growing up who you sort of got a bit of comedy inspiration from?
Not performance. I mean, my mom's mental. She can be very funny.
In a good way?
Yeah.
Not mentally ill?
No.
Not good.
No, well, case by case. But no, my mom can be a little bit funny, but mostly to herself.
Okay.
But my dad's a big comedy fan too. So my parents split when I was really young. So I would go stay with my dad, I would stay with my mom, but anytime I went to stay at my dad's, we would watch SCTV, we would watch SNL, we'd watch Kids in the Hall. So there was like a big foundation that way through from watching all of those shows. And I think just like knowing who people were, I mean, becoming a big fan of John Candy early on and like watching Gilda Radner watching.
What a ledge.
Right?
He was
Uncle Buck's
far
one of my
soon.
favorite movies.
Isn't it?
Yep, it's so good.
So good.
I actually want to get a poster of Uncle Buck to put up in my apartment. That's always been one that I just want like a framed Uncle Buck picture. It's so good.
So I just want to clarify, you've confirmed to me that Oasis are your favourite band.
Yeah.
And you want an Uncle Buck poster in your apartment.
Yeah. Our love is just growing deeper and fonder.
So it's a very tricky situation for me.
It is, I know. We're getting in a little bit of hot water here, you and I.
We are. Long may it last. Now, we're not going to discuss Dean, as I said.
Yep.
But if you don't mind, I want to chat.
I like that you preface it that way and then you slide just a little, just like a backdoor question.
No. I want to talk about your journey to Dean.
Oh, okay.
Your romantic road to wrestling
lovers?
royalty. Did you hear that? That was good.
No,
I scripted that bit. Your romantic road to wrestling royalty, if you will. Can you remember the very first date you went on? Who, what, and where?
My very
and was
first
it awkward?
Date. I mean, I think most dates are awkward. Yeah. I don't really you know, I think when you're younger, you're like, oh, this person's my boyfriend now. But that doesn't really mean anything.
Nah.
It's just a thing that like you'll pass each other in like a hallway at school and you're like, and then all of a sudden you don't talk to that person anymore because you're so freaked out by the fact that things are getting very adult very quickly. Yeah. My first date. I don't feel like I went on a date until I was like an older young woman.
an older woman.
I think it was like, I always had like friends that I would like you're in like your group of friends and like all of a sudden you're like kind of dating somebody. Yeah. But not in like I've never really been sought out, is that the word? Seeked out?
Yeah.
Sought out? Yeah. Sought out to go on a date because I feel like
really? I don't believe that.
But maybe I have. But I'm not a person, if I were to just meet someone like, hey, do you want to grab a drink later? I'd be like, absolutely not. Stranger danger, no thanks.
Okay.
I need to like warm myself into the situation.
Yeah.
Or I prefer to be like, hey, what's going on with this person? You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because dates can get very awkward, can't they?
They can. Yeah, I mean, I went on a date with one person, and it was weird, but we like went to like
Who is this idiot?
He's some man in Canada.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh no, thanks. But yeah, like you go. People are on like their best behavior on dates. Where like you don't really get. They're like they bust out.
You don't see the real them. Do you?
No. Because it's like they have these like back pocket things of like, oh, I read Chuck Palahniuk all the time, and I don't know why I'm doing a weird British accent.
Was that British?
I don't know.
It was Indian.
I don't even know. But yeah, I think people have like their stock things that they're like, hey, this is what I'm projecting out to the world. Yeah. I'm this person, and then they're like showcasing those things, and then you're like, oh, well, you're a liar. You're a liar, and you actually quite suck. Yeah. So I think it's a lot of that. So no, I've never really been on like dates. I don't think.
Okay.
Sure, I have, but it's probably just like casual, like, hey, you want to go have a drink?
Yeah.
At a pub, but like. You're just both there. It's not like a really set up. Like, I don't think I've ever had that moment of like being that girl getting ready for a date at home, except for once.
Yeah.
And now look where I am.
Yeah, I know. Disaster.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of awkward things, you've gone on record to say you love fat awkward things.
Yes.
Which is probably why you and I get on so well. And I'm slightly hesitant to ask this.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if he's still with us, and I really hope he is.
Who?
But can you talk to us about your dog, Burger?
Burger.
Is he still with us?
God, he's still with us.
Oh, excellent. Okay,
He's
good.
still alive and he's well.
And talk to me about the choice of name, crucially.
So, Burger,
Great name.
I love bulldogs. Bulldogs, if I could give birth to a litter of bulldogs, I'd be on my way.
You would be a millionaire.
I know. Wouldn't it be great?
Sort of.
I don't know. There's probably a couple conflicts. But yeah, so I love bulldogs. I found Burger. I was dead set on getting a bulldog. Originally, I wanted to get a French bulldog, but I found Burger on essentially Craigslist. Do you guys have Craigslist here?
Do we have it? No, I don't think we do have it, but we know what it is. Yeah.
Okay. So I found he's a bulldog pug mix. So he's a wild mess. But I went to see him as a puppy, and that was it. Signed, sealed, delivered. He was my jam. He was a terrible puppy.
Okay.
So bad, destroyed all my things, ripped up my books. He was a mental person. But now he's super calm and chill. He's great. But I don't get to see him anymore because since I've got this job, I am not home, and it's not fair to have a dog that is very needy. So he is off with a friend of mine.
Oh, okay.
So he's in very, very good hands, and he goes to the beach and he hangs out, and I get to kind of follow up mostly through pictures on Instagram to see how he's doing. But it just wasn't fair to be on the road as often as we are and put him in boarding, and I don't really know anyone in New York to leave him with, so that's what happened.
Oh, Burger.
Yeah, I know.
How old's Burger now?
Burger he's about 5 or going on 6. Yeah, he's wide.
Would you ever get another one?
I would love
call it
to.
Fries?
Yeah, right. Actually, I used to think that I'd want to get one and call it Poutine. Burger and Poutine.
Oh, okay.
How great
Nice.
would that be?
That
Very
would be good.
Canadian.
Yeah.
I would love to get a dog eventually again. My Instagram feed is basically bulldogs and supermodels and Laura Whitmore, which we've covered.
Love that you're a fan of Laura Whitmore.
Love Laura Whitmore.
MTV's Laura Whitmore.
Yeah, I think she's great.
She is cool.
But anyways, yeah, I love bulldogs. Eventually, I will get one again. It just needs to be like the right situation because it's just so hard with our travel to do it.
Yeah.
And there's lots of people here that do it, but I think it's easier if you have family around and people you can kind of lean on a little bit.
Yeah.
But when I don't have that here, it makes it a little difficult.
Fair dinkum.
Yeah.
So from high school, you did a bit of improv comedy. Mm-hmm. You did TV hosting in Canada on the school. All roads have led you to WWE.
Yeah.
Since starting with this company, what's been the biggest surprise for you?
I think my biggest surprise was actually something that I learned early on. It's like as much as I came from a hosting background and a performance background and in watching WWE for my old shows and kind of knowing how it works, but I think the way that people view WWE sometimes, and like sometimes performance-wise, sometimes acting-wise, but now knowing how it works a little bit better, I think it's a lot like working on a soap opera where you're given a script and you're like, oh, by the way, we're live in 20 minutes, you're good, right? The people are like, oh, what? That changed my mind a lot to see. I mean, there's so many moving pieces here and so many things that bring this together that everyone just works incredibly hard, and they're traveling, they're away from their families, they're living in hotels, which that, but I think actually living it is a very different thing. Yeah, and it just gives me like the utmost respect for the people that are able to go out and do that and nail it, because it's not easy.
And so being a part of it, you've obviously found a lot of fame through it. You were kind of famous before, but now it's kind of a new level of fame.
I guess I don't really consider myself famous at all.
But do you ever have any sort of overwhelming moments?
Not really.
Really?
No, I don't really think that I don't consider myself that. I don't really know if other people consider me that. I don't really know what that's banked on me. I guess, yeah, I'm on TV and like I have like Twitter followers, but does that mean anything?
I don't know.
I don't know. Not that it's overwhelming, but yeah, sometimes it's a bit of a trip that I can be here in London and be like, oh my God, how do these people know who I am?
Yeah,
That's weird. Or just anywhere else. If I'm home in Canada, like, yeah, maybe a little bit more. But yeah, if I'm in like Alabama and someone knows my name, I'm like, whoa, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a trip. But that's kind of it. Other than like, you have conversations with like some of the legends of WWE and getting their feedback and just having those one-on-one conversations, like that can be a bit of a trip sometimes. Even like the other week after WrestleMania when I called out Sting, I was like, what's happening? Why am I here? What's going on?
Yeah, that was a cool moment.
It's weird, yeah.
So what's the strangest or funniest thing a fan has either given you or said to you in your time in WWE?
Fans say some things. They say some things. You know what's weird is there's one person, I don't even think I've blocked them, but regularly asks me if I have an innie or an outie belly button.
And the answer?
It's an innie.
Okay, normal.
Yeah, it's normal, exactly, exactly.
And have you responded to
Or you're
this?
just like, I don't have one. I'm like, it's just like this flat, weird surface.
That's where the bulldogs come out.
Exactly, it nurtures the pups. Yeah, that's weird. People on the internet are weird in general.
Yeah.
People make like weird gifs of things, or like, there's a whole other element to that. But I think like in real life, it's different. People are weird in real life, but they're like toned down because you can see them.
Yeah.
They'll be a little bit more normal. But you know what I love? I've always loved having women be fans of mine.
Yeah.
That's always been something that's like mega important to me, is like having that connection, and kind of having that other platform to show other women that you can do some other things and not necessarily be a diva. That's definitely something that's always been kind of cool. I feel like I'm deviating off of the question. But when I was at WrestleMania, a fan brought me ketchup chips from Canada. And that was great.
That,
yes.
Yeah, awesome.
I love that.
Okay.
Ketchup chips. Oh baby! And somebody else brought me. I'm a big tea drinker, and they brought me like a canister and a gift certificate for Tivana.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that was very sweet.
Oh,
that was very nice. It wasn't even weird.
No.
It was very nice.
Very pleasant.
Like my friends don't do that for me.
Oh, saucer milk, table 2.
A little sauce.
Now, you're famous for your big interviews with WWE Superstars, but get you big old superstar. You got your own show on the network.
Yes!
Tell me all.
So I'm very excited about this. I'm excited for people to see this. So it's called Unfiltered, with Renee Young.
Is that the official title?
I guess so.
With Renee
I think my
Young.
name's on it. Yeah, I don't think it just says Unfiltered, and then my face is there maybe, or it's like Unfiltered with Renee Young. It's something like that. It's either my face.
Your face would be good somewhere on the show.
It's there.
Okay.
It's around.
That's good.
So the first one is with Seth Rollins. So my favorite part about this is that, like, so far I've done with Seth, and I did one with Wiz Khalifa. I mean, it's one thing with Wiz Khalifa, you can talk to him a little bit about WWE, but with Seth, we don't talk about it at all. Like, we are not talking any WWE, no wrestling, none of that. Like, I sat down, we talked about bands, we talked about his dog. Like, it's just a fun interview that sort of humanizes these people that you're only used to seeing in a certain light. And that it's like my Oprah moment, my Oprah aha moment of getting to like have these people just be humans. And that's really cool. I'm excited to keep that ball rolling.
And when does that show start?
I think in May.
Awesome.
Which is soon. It's almost May.
It's next month.
Yeah, but we're like mid-month. What's the date? The 13th?
14th.
14th. See?
It's a date
almost
I'll
mid-month.
never forget.
So it's coming up. So yeah, I'm very, very excited for people to see that, and for people to see me in a different light too, because I think since I've come to WWE, people are very used to me just being, hey guys, please welcome my guest at this time. Da-da-da. It's very, it's a little bit formal and very different for what I'm used to doing. So it's nice to kind of let it all hang out a little bit.
And I guess it's something really different for WWE doing that kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think it's really cool that they're open to that.
Yeah.
You know,
definitely.
It's awesome. I think it's refreshing, and I really hope people like it. But I think between that show and Corey Graves has another show coming out, so I think there's going to be a couple new things and some new flavors for people to enjoy in the WWE network. I think there's a lot of stuff on the burner right now, so hopefully some of it stays.
Fingers crossed.
Namely, my show. Please let it stay.
Yeah, just keep that one. And,
yes.
And how much is the network? Can't remember.
$9.99.
$9.99. Okay, thank you.
What is it here?
It's $9.99.
It is.
Yeah.
It's different in Canada. It's like $11.99 or something.
I think it's slightly different in Europe.
But it's like £9. Yes. How do you say? Would you say £9.99?
We'd just say $9.99. But yeah, if you want to get panicky, you can say panicky. Panickety. That's it.
Pernickety.
Nearly there.
Lemony Snicket.
Who's your favourite WWE superstar to interview, and is there anyone who you are really intimidated by?
My favorite WWE Superstar to interview would probably be, I like, the Usos are great.
They're hilarious.
Because they bring it. Every time
really
they walk
funny.
on, it's like you can feel the energy change.
Yeah.
Those guys are very infectious.
Yeah.
So they're really cool. Me and Wade Barrett have a bit of a weird thing. that, especially on the JBL and Cole show.
Not too. Okay.
On the JBL and Cole show, if we have to be serious in scenes, it's not even just me. I think he's like this with everybody.
Okay.
He can't get through it. It's
Really?
like a laugh fest.
Okay.
Everything turns into a laugh fest. So we have like this weird thing that he'll come on, and I'll look at him at first, and then I can't make eye contact with him for the rest of it until his lines have been delivered or my lines have been delivered, and then like the final glance. Or I'll have to like stare at his chest, so I'm not actually looking at him. It's weird. So working with him is really cool. Summer Rae is one of my favorite people.
Yeah.
Adore her. And people I'm intimidated by. I used to be very intimidated by Randy Orton.
I've had a moment with Randy.
You have?
An intimidating moment.
What happened?
Oh, he sort of got very angry with me.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. What did he say?
Oh, I was just questioning him about when it was this won't go in, by the way. It was the fan attack in South Africa.
Oh, yes.
And I just made a comment about people on the internet saying that it was a work.
Right.
And he sold for the guy.
Yeah.
And he just took offense, really.
He did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
It's on YouTube, you can check it out.
He's like, when I first got here and interviewed him, I was like, I didn't know him at all. So I was like, oh, like, I don't know what my boundaries are with this person. I'm just gonna kind of keep my distance and ask my question. But he's really cool. Randy's awesome. He's actually like way more fun, I think, than people would maybe think. It's a good time.
Good time.
Yeah.
Good time with Orton. Has WWE ever approached you to be involved in a storyline or angle, or even get in the ring? If so, what was the idea? And if not, would you ever consider it in the future?
I'm borderline offended that nobody has. What gives? What did I ever? What did I? What? Why?
Don't know.
I don't know.
I think it'd be great.
I think I could do a sick figure 4. Actually, I couldn't. I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, they haven't.
Okay.
I think they're very content having me in the role that I'm in because I've never had a woman doing this. So I think they kind of want to ride that wave out for a bit and not dabble in between. Which is funny because I mean, even since I've been here, even down at NXT, there's girls that will do the backstage roles, but they're also still training to wrestle.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, they never have. I would definitely be into hearing it out. Depends on the situation, definitely, but I'm all for a good time. I think if it's something that like has a cool payoff or like, it would have to be like a cool moment.
Okay.
You know, like I'm not opposed to it.
You basically just want to have a good time, don't you?
All the time,
just
yeah.
Have fun.
Well, it's actually very funny to me to be here in WWE because I played sports so much and at like a very competitive level. And then once I dropped that off and then started performing and like wanting to be an actor or doing comedy and stuff, and now I'm at a place where those two are fully melded together, but I have nothing to do with either of those. It's very weird.
Yeah.
It's kind of bizarre, but hey, it is what it is.
So maybe in the future.
Who knows? Probably
Renee Young in
not,
the
but we'll see.
Okay, now I want to wrap up by playing a little game with you.
Yes.
It's called Let's Get to Know Renee Young a little bit better than we knew her before.
Let's get to know Renee Young a little bit better than we knew her before.
You can, and you've just sung for me, which you didn't do last time.
You didn't.
You can carry a tune.
The opportunity wasn't there.
You can carry a tune.
Yeah.
You just confirmed it.
I can carry a tune. I
Amazing.
can sing like it's nobody's business. I'm like an angel sent from above. That's not true.
No,
I
you
have
are.
my
You
moments.
are.
It depends. And because I've been like sick for a long time, I'm a big in the car singer. I get down.
Do you get down to Oasis?
Yeah, of course.
So good on the road.
But you know what's really
Good road
good too?
music.
It's good on the road.
What's that?
But if you watch some of their like their older YouTube videos, watching those two harmonize on acoustic tracks is crazy. That's
Phenomenal.
the stuff that brothers do.
I do.
That's why Oasis will ultimately get back together.
They will.
Baby's gotta harmonize.
It's too much money to be made.
Yeah.
Those Gallaghers need to get back. Right, back to this game.
Okay.
Let's get to know Renee Young a little bit better than we knew her before.
Da 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 da.
This is quick fire, and I can only accept your first answer. Favorite film of all time?
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Love that film.
Right? Oh, Drew.
Favorite album of all time? I said quick fire.
I know, but we just talked about a lot of music. It's
Yeah, we
hard
did,
to pick
yeah.
your favorite album of all time.
Okay, favorite Oasis album of all time?
Don't Believe the Truth.
2005. What an album.
It's so good.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Best piece of advice you've ever been given, and who gave it to you? Quick fire, always the
God,
same.
but these are heavy questions.
They are, I know.
Like, there's a lot of thought behind that. If you're like, oh, your favorite color, what'd you eat for breakfast? Like, that I'll answer. But these are like, there's a little bit of weight here.
I regret the quick fire element, I'll be honest.
Yeah, so we're gonna rewind and retract the quick fire. We're just,
we'll edit that bit out.
I'll do it quicker.
Okay.
Best advice, I think, is to trust your instincts.
Who gave that advice to you?
I think I just read it somewhere.
Poor.
I don't think anyone's ever just been like, hey kid.
Yeah.
Hey kid.
It's like Ricky Steamboat backstage. Always be yourself.
The ticket to the universe.
Yeah.
Trust your gut. No, I think I'd probably read it in a
Not
book
going to trust
somewhere.
your gut, not with that innie with bulldogs coming out of it. Messy. Earliest childhood memory?
Earliest childhood memory, eating raspberries in my backyard.
Nice.
Yeah, we had a pool, raspberries, and my mom would sometimes cut up hot dogs. Yes.
Boom. What a combo.
Yeah.
Nicest present you've ever been brought?
There's this dog on the internet called Tuna Melts My Heart. It's the weirdest looking dog. I am obsessed with it. But for Christmas one year, somebody had framed me a picture of tuna, and it's up in my apartment. Amazing. I have a picture of somebody else's dog in my apartment.
Slightly creepy. Have you done a chalk drawing of the dog?
You know what, I actually haven't done a chalk drawing in a little while, and I need to come up with something. I've been trying to rack my brain. I think I might do Fear and Loathing next. Might be the next one that I do.
Or a portrait of me.
Or you. Would that be great? I wish I was good at cartoons. I'm actually like, I have to like really think about what I'm drawing. Otherwise, I'll start to do it. I'm like, oh, this is too much work.
Just think about me. Favorite WWE superstar of all time?
Goldust.
Is that true?
Yeah.
He's excellent.
I love Goldust.
What a hand.
Well, I was going to say Roddy Piper, but I mean, true, it's Goldust. Always has been. And I was in here with him last night.
Yeah, I saw you, yeah. He was proposing to you.
Yeah, we pretty much got engaged last night.
I was furious.
I know, what happened to us? I'm really just throwing it around here.
You are. One thing that you would take to a desert island? If you could only take one thing, obviously.
SPF, I'm very pale.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm very fair. Actually, this is tanner on my legs.
Oh, is it?
There's sheen on here. I can see my veins all the time. Do you know what that's like?
Well,
it's
I sort of do. You see my complexion? Horrendous.
It's weird. Yeah, I got to be careful.
Most embarrassing moment of your life?
One time, the one and only time that I attempted doing stand-up comedy. I went to Yuck Yucks. And it was a different time. I was a different person. But I think that I imitated farting in public, but like I was on the ground and it was like a whole event.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, it was. I just think people were like,
is that funny?
Yeah, it was weird.
Do we clap this?
It was weird, yeah.
Most famous celebrity's number you've got on your phone?
Oh. I guess Stephen Amell from Arrow. He's pretty famous.
Okay, right.
Yeah, he's a Toronto boy.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that's probably it.
Favorite WrestleMania moment?
Roddy Piper and Goldust Backlap Brawl.
California, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Favorite pizza topping?
Hawaiian pizza, pineapple.
And ham?
And ham, yeah, but the pineapple's really the essence.
You're not vegetarian, are you?
No.
Thank God. Most underutilized WWE talent at the moment?
Sami Zayn.
Okay.
I want to see him get the party started.
Do you want to see him on the main roster?
Absolutely.
Oh, he'd be unbelievable.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't he? Him and Neville.
Actually,
yes,
you know
please.
what? Not that I take that back. I do say Sammy, but also Cesaro.
Okay.
Cesaro's great. He brings it.
He does.
He's fantastic.
Favorite city in the world?
I think I have to say Toronto.
Yeah, I thought you might.
You know, I actually thought about that because I mean, as much as we travel around, it's like I love Nashville. I love Austin.
Love Nashville.
Nashville's so
It's
cool.
the coolest
I
place in the
love
world.
Nashville. That there's different towns I like, but Toronto, I feel like I've been like missing Toronto a little bit lately. They've got such great restaurants, so many cool little neighborhoods and little pockets. Toronto's really cool. I love Vancouver as well.
Favorite book?
Well, here's the thing. I answered film with Breakfast at Tiffany's, but it's actually the book. I have a quote of Kel Beast is on my ribs, which is from when Audrey Hepburn comes back from her date. But it's in the book. She does say it in the movie, but in the book she says like Kel da 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 a lot, or like Kel Rat. But it was in the book that Truman Capote is one of my favorite authors. So I'm going to say that, or Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil is very cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? Are you very sort of career focused, or is kind of family a part of your?
Definitely. I mean, eventually I'll get to that, but more. I mean, I don't. That's not something I really like think about planning wise, which I guess most people should. I should. But no, I think career-wise, I mean, I would like to expand on what this show Unfiltered is going to be. I think I really want to bring back Renee Paquette a bit more. I want Renee Paquette and Renee Young to become one a little bit. So I think if there's a way for me to do that on the WWE Network and maybe host a show that has a little bit more of that sass and panache, I would like to do something like that. So hopefully that will be in the future.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Now, I thought, what better way to ensure that we have a round 3 of our interview series than to keep you on side and buy you a present?
What?
So yeah, we've got you a gift.
What'd you get?
Well, you'll see.
What do you mean?
We know you like comedy.
Yes.
And you said you're a big fan of Little Britain. So we've got you inside Little Britain.
Stop.
Signed by Matt Lucas and David Walliams.
No.
Yes.
Oh my God. Thank you.
There you go.
How did you get them to sign it?
Oh,
you have it? You had it?
We have our ways.
Oh my God.
Is that a good present?
Yes. This is spectacular. I was cleaning up stuff in my house the other day, and I have a Little Britain coffee book, or coffee table book, that I kind of forgot that I had, but it was like buried in the back. And I was like, man, that's such a cool, fun book to flip through. And yeah, this is fantastic.
So that's the inside story of how they made it.
Thank you so much. These books are so great. I mean, getting to read about people, that's my favorite kind of book to read usually. It's like, not just like a biography of like, anyways, then shit got weird and my life is this now. But like hearing people like build their careers and their stories and stuff. So this is so cool. Oh my God, thank you.
Especially for you.
Oh my God.
And finally, can you play harmonica?
No, but you know what? I really think that I should try. I'm not.
It's funny you should say
Can you
that.
do it?
No, but you can. Miz and Seth Rollins have both played their theme tune. It is clean.
They played their
entrance theme
they
tune
did it?
on this harmonica.
They actually did it?
Yeah, they did it.
What?
Very poorly, but they did it.
Whose do I get to do?
You could do whoever you like. Dean's, maybe?
I don't think I can do his. I think I need like a guitar and a whammy board.
Give me
for
an
that.
Oasis tune.
All right. What am I gonna do? I think I'm doing it like backwards. Well, maybe you don't really want to know.
Save me.
I can't do
and
it. Wait,
after all.
Yeah. Wonderwall is the most romantic song of all time.
Finish it up then. Not like that, it's not. Renee Young.
I'm so sorry if Noel and or Liam or anyone pertaining to them ever saw that. My bad. I can't play the harmonica, but big fan. I tried to do Wonderwall.
You tried your best. Can't ask for more than that.
But I think I was like scaling the wrong way. I went low when I should have been going high.
I think you're doing everything wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
British accents, turning into Indian accents.
Giving birth to
playing
bulldogs.
Playing this wrong,
It's all
bulldogs. I'm really screwing it up.
Renee Young, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'll see you for round 3 very soon.
Thank you forever. This is lovely.